They told everyone I gave up. Before I could even explain, they rewrote my story. A story of failure, they said. But it wasn't failure. It was something bigger, something invisible, waiting to be seen. I watched their faces, silent, disappointed, distant. They said I lost my way, that I lost them. But sometimes, losing the path is the only way to find yourself. My name is Emily. I'm 26 and I live in Seattle. This is the story they didn't want you to hear. Growing up, everyone said I was going to be the success story, the one who made it out. Doctor, lawyer, or something equally impressive. That was the plan. My parents' eyes were filled with hope and pride every time they talked about my future. Emily, you're going to make us proud, they'd say. But the truth was, I wasn't sure who I wanted to be. The pressure was suffocating. I buried my doubts beneath perfect grades and endless study hours. Then came the burnout. The nights I stayed awake, feeling like I was drowning in expectations I didn't even want. One day, I just stopped showing up. Dropping out wasn't a choice I made lightly. It was a silent scream I couldn't hold back anymore. The moment I told my dad, his face froze. Are you serious? After everything we've done? My mom didn't say a word. Just stared, like I'd broken something unfixable. She's just taking a break. Dad tried to convince himself. But everyone else whispered.
Judged.
We don't talk about that anymore, my brother said coldly. Suddenly, I was the failure in their eyes, the daughter they disowned. And so I started over. Quietly.
Slowly.
But nobody noticed. Starting over felt like walking in the dark. No spotlight, no applause, just silence. I found a small job teaching computer basics to seniors at a local community center. At first, it felt pointless. Like I was just filling time, keeping myself busy so the guilt wouldn't swallow me whole. But then, something shifted. One afternoon, Mrs. Jenkins, a sweet old woman with trembling hands, sat beside me. "This machine hates me," she muttered, frustrated as she struggled with the tablet. I smiled softly, showing her how to tap the screen gently. "You brought my baby into my living room," she said later, tears in her eyes, talking about the video call we set up so she could see her grandson overseas. Moments like that were quiet, almost invisible to the world. No headlines, no grand announcements, just small acts of connection. It didn't make news, but it mattered. Slowly, piece by piece, I rebuilt my confidence. One lesson at a time, one smile, one thank you. I was creating something real, even if no one else saw it. Over time, what began as a small, quiet job turned into something bigger than I ever imagined. The community center expanded our classes to several neighborhoods. We were onboarding 1,200 seniors per month, teaching them to use smartphones, send emails, and even video chat with their families. Our newsletter had a 78% open rate, higher than many Fortune 500 companies. People started calling us Elderbright, the program that was bridging generations. But at home, my family barely noticed. When I tried to tell my dad about the impact I was making, he just shook his head. Teaching old folks to click buttons? Real noble work. His words stung more than I expected. My brother called me the free spirit, as if that explained away years of sacrifice and hard work. My mother's eyes would gloss over when I spoke, a silent judgment that felt like a wall between us. Despite the cold shoulder, I kept pushing forward. I wasn't doing this for their approval. I was doing it because I believed in what I was building. Every grateful smile, every thank you, was proof enough. Outwardly, I was thriving. Inside, I was quietly breaking the chains of rejection. But in the eyes of the people who mattered most, my family, I was still invisible. One evening, I was invited to speak at a local community event, still anonymous to most attendees. I sat quietly in the back, watching as a woman stepped onto the stage, a stranger. She held the microphone tightly, her voice shaky but clear. My fiancé's grandfather was completely isolated until Elderbright came into his life, she began, tears welling up. He didn't know how to use a phone. But now he calls his family every day. It's like he's been given a second chance. As she spoke, the crowd murmured in agreement. but my heart was pounding. She wasn't done. This program, it changed us. Brought us hope when we thought there was none. Then, she looked directly at me. You, the woman at the back, Emily, right? The room fell silent. All eyes turned to me. I stood slowly, feeling every second stretch. The woman smiled warmly. You built this. You gave my family back to each other. In that moment, years of silence and rejection dissolved. I didn't demand this recognition. It walked in on its own, refusing to be quiet any longer. I realized then, success isn't about approval from everyone. It's about the lives you touch when no one's watching. After that night, things began to shift, slowly, quietly. A note from my mom appeared on the kitchen table. Proud of you, it said, in shaky handwriting I hadn't seen in years. My brother sent a message, short but sincere. I didn't understand before. I do now. I didn't rush to respond. I didn't feel the need to prove anything anymore. The approval I once craved had been replaced by something far deeper. Peace. It wasn't pride. It was peace. I didn't print my mom's note. I kept it folded in my drawer, a gentle reminder that healing doesn't need loud declarations. I had finally found my worth, not in their eyes, but in my own.
And that was enough.
If you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or like you're living in someone else's story, this is for you. Your path may be hidden now, but it's still yours to walk. Where are you watching from? Share your story, because someone out there needs to hear it just as much as you need to tell it. This channel is a place for quiet victories, real human stories, and second chances. Thank you for being here. More stories, real, raw, and hopeful, are coming.